Hello, students. Welcome to this Thanksgiving week. Hopefully, everybody is having some plans with family and friends. We do have what I'm going to do is do this flipped class. So I'm going to be emailing this out to everybody as soon as I'm done recording here. So I wanted to go over some things that are going on. You should be done with and I have this Google Calendar that I've sent out to you multiple times. You can also find it on our announcement page. Anyways, 4.0, you should be done with your 4 quizzes up here, and 5. And then also this week we have 6 and 7 to keep on track to the end of the block, because I said things go quick. Even though we don't have any school, I still need you to kind of get those done. Okay, I will be putting in the zeros on the 26th. I know it's quite a bit, but at least that keeps you paced and you know what to expect, and then that will give you some time at the end of the block to be able to get everything done and get it turned in. Okay, so you may feel things like are going fast, which they kind of are, but just continue to keep working on that. Okay, what we're going to go over today, just real quick, is we're going to go over how to pay for college and then also financial institutions. A lot of this is done on FAFSA. It's a FAFSA form. It's a federal government form that we'll be going over today. And I'm going to go through it fairly quickly because, hey, you want to get to eating turkey and possibly buying things. I don't know if you do the Black Friday shopping, that kind of stuff. And there's Cyber Monday as well. So here we go. Okay, so I already went over this as well, what we should have done. So week 1, you should have these done. Week 2, week 3, we are now in week 4. So lesson 6 and lesson 7, which is unit 2 and unit 2 lesson 6, unit 3 lesson 7. Okay, and that's what you should have done by now. You can see what's coming up. We have quite a bit next week. Quiz-wise, and then on week 7 we have quite a bit, and then we're basically at the end of the block. Okay, so things fly through in a block class. Okay, so we're going to talk about financial aid. It's money to help to pay for your educational costs. We talked last time about how much more money you earn when you have a college education, or at least some kind of education, trade school, certificates, anything like that. Now, the problem is it's expensive to pay for these things. You can't learn these things for free at a tech college or college or something like that. So there's financial aid, federal aid that are eligible to you. Okay, so here's kind of a thing of how people pay for college. Some pay for scholarships, grants, friends, relative, student borrowing, parent borrowing, student income and savings. And the last one I think is, I don't know, other on there. But anyways, you may have to do a little bit of all of these, and I've done a little bit of all of these as well. My parents have helped pay for a little bit. I've had some scholarships. I've had some grants. I've borrowed money as well to get my education under my belt. Okay, so there's different types. Grants are given to you and you don't have to pay them back. They're usually set up through the federal government. Scholarships are something that you can earn for good grades, sports. There's all kinds of ones for different ethnicities, for different places, different companies set them up. Okay, loans, student loans. I'd be a little careful of how much you borrow out of your loans, but you can get like what's called subsidized or unsubsidized. So subsidized basically means the interest is paid while you're going to school. Unsubsidized means that interest keeps building. Okay, there's federal work study where you go work in a certain field. They kind of give you that. There's internships. I've done internships before. Tuition waivers. So you may work at a company where you pay for it, and when you pass the classes and stuff like that, they will actually pay you back the tuition that you paid. Employee benefits, veteran benefits. So if you have somebody that served in the military, they may be eligible for financial aid for them, and also it extends to their family as well. Okay, so what is FAFSA? FAFSA is federal aid. Okay, what do you need to know? You must file for it every year you go to college. You can file at October 1st of your senior year. So if you're a senior right now, you can file for a FAFSA form. Okay, you need a FAFSA ID from your parent and student. The earlier you do it, the better. Then you know how much money you can qualify for. Okay, it does take into consideration your parent's income as it's going through there. Okay, FAFSA stands for Free Application for Federal and Student Aid. You can find it at FAFSA.gov, and this is kind of a little thing. So they wanted me to go through, if we were like sitting face to face, go through how to do it, and everybody would have like a computer or something like that to go through it. But this is kind of the steps that you go through. You have to sign in, start a new FAFSA form, go through the steps. You have to create an ID. You're going to have a lot of personal information. So your parents' tax ID numbers, social security numbers, driver's license numbers, everything. What schools you are thinking about planning to attend. And what happens is that actually goes, it doesn't go directly to you, but it actually goes directly to the school and pays those off. Okay, so here are the steps. As I said, I'm not going to go through all of them, but if we were going through one by one, but you'd have to say how much money you make, how much your parents make, and then it will give you a reward at the end. Everybody qualifies for at least something, even if it's just like possibly like a student loan. Okay, so for extra credit, if you want to fill out a form, you can do that as well, or just go speak with it about your parents. I will give you some extra credit, 25 extra credit points. Just email me. I think that's kind of cut off on the screen. Email me that you did that with your parents, or you at least talked to them and looked at the website. I'll give you 25 extra credit points. Okay. The last thing that we needed to go over was financial institutions. We're going to do the difference between banks and credit unions. Banks are publicly traded, so I could buy some stock in a bank. Credit unions are actually they're owned by the members that go there. There's also some good things you get. I like to go to credit unions a little bit. I get a little bit more better interest rates on auto loans, home loans, that kind of stuff, than I did at banks as well. But you can kind of see some different ones, like in Utah that you've seen, maybe First Security, U.S. Bank, Zions Bank, Heritage Bank, State Bank, Far West Bank, and as I said, those are all publicly traded. And then I think we had some of the credit unions. Okay. So the last thing we're going to talk about is a checking account versus a savings account. And banks usually charge like fees for being in there. But anyways, here we go. So checking account, you have a monthly fee, minimum balance, interest, overdraft protection, ATM fees, internet banking, online bill pay. Savings account, you have a minimum balance that you need to open it. Interest, so basically as you have money in there, you get so much money back from the bank. It's not very much. It's like pennies. But it's better than nothing, right? Check writing, ATM fees at the bank, ATM fees. So they're fairly similar in that aspect of things. And so basically that's all we are actually talking about today. We were going to go over in class. So as I said, I'm going to send this out to you. Make sure you just go through, watch the videos, watch the quizzes. If you want that extra credit points, go to FAFSA.gov and speak with your parents about it, and then just email me. Okay, have a great Thanksgiving weekend, and we will speak with you next Tuesday.